It's a good song to learn. It's quite simple down this end of the neck, but it's also got some quite fast bits that you can learn to speed up your playing. It starts off with an intro like this. So you're starting off with sort of a power chord type position, starting on the 5th fret, D string, then 7th fret G string. You're going to be holding this position, then you're going to play D, then G, then D again, and then whilst playing that D, slide down to the 3rd, so like this, then G, D, so you've done that, slid down, then when you come back up you play the 7th fret on the G again, and then the 5th fret on the G, that time changing. Then you're going to repeat that whole sequence but moving it a string that way, so you're on the A and D strings. Then you're moving down to the 1st and 3rd fret on the A and D strings, and you're playing A, D, A, but sliding up. Then down to the 1st fret on the A, and then the 3rd fret on the E. All together. So that's the intro. After that, you've got what I'm going to call riff 1, which basically goes like this. So you're on the 3rd fret and you want to be playing it quite heavily, smacking the E string and hammering down with your middle finger if that's your strongest finger. 3 times. Then you're moving up a string to the 3rd fret on the A, and you can hit the open D as well to sort of give it a bit of a scream behind that, and then you're sliding down to the 1st fret on the A, so it's like this, and then you're returning to the 3rd fret on the low E. You play that sequence 4 times, and then you start playing the main riff, which goes something like this. It's mostly palm muted. As you can see, very simple. You're sort of keeping constant picking rhythm with your picking hand, and then you're moving between the 3rd fret low E, 1st fret, and then 3rd fret A string. And then at the end you just go. You play that sequence. After that you can put a small fill in by just putting your 1st finger on 1st fret A string. And then you play the whole sequence again. So then you play that riff 4 times, then you pause, and then there comes a small fill, which is 1st fret low E, open string, 1st fret A, then you're back to that. Then after the fill you play the pre-chorus, which again is very simple, still using these 1st and 3rd frets. So you're going 1st fret twice, 3rd fret A twice, and then back to this. Then you can hit in 1st fret A if you want to as well. And then this time you just hit the 1st and 3rd frets once each. That's the pre-chorus, and then whilst they jump into the chorus, you're playing the same riff we were talking about earlier, the main riff, where you're just going. You're playing that. Then towards the end of the chorus, there's the solo, and the first and second solos of the song are pretty much the same. They're working on this scale here. That's a pentatonic major scale starting on the 15th. I don't know actually what that's called, but it's a pentatonic major shape. How it actually goes in the record, you can improvise if you want to. Starting off with a bend on the 17th fret, and then a pull off back onto the 15th, landing on the D string, 17th fret. So you're starting on the G string and then moving down to the D, back up to the 15th on the G, and then you just play 17th D, then 15th G again. So far you've got. Then you do the bend and pull off again, and then you just play the D string 17th again. Then you're hammering on from the 15th to the 17th on the D, then hitting the 15th on the G. Then you're doing the bend again. Then you're moving slowly back down the strings, so you're going 17th, 15th, 17th on the D, then 15th again, 17th on the A, 15th on the A, and then 18th, 15, 18, 15. That's the first lick of the solo. The second one played pretty much the same, the first half. So after you've done the hammer on, you go back to 15th on the D, then 17th again, and then you're doing the same but then moving up a string on the G string, so you've got something like that. Or you can just sort of improvise on the scale they're playing, just play the notes you think will fit. After that, after the end of the solo, you're back to your main riff. So you're playing that whole sequence 3 times over. Then you've got the fill again. Then the pre-chorus. Then whilst they're playing the chorus, you're back to going. And then you're back to the solo. Up here, you can sort of drag it out a bit longer if you want this time, as you're getting further into the song. Then instead of jumping back into a verse, they finish a song on an extended chorus, which is why you can extend the solo. So then they're playing the pre-chorus again. Then you're back to the main riff whilst playing the chorus. Then as they come out of this chorus, you're back to the first riff we talked about. You can either finish on the low E string third or the A string. I prefer finishing on the low E. And then also on the album there's a small sort of semi-amped outro, which I'll cover briefly if you guys really want to learn to play that. It's on the again on all the 3rd and 1st frets. You're starting on the high E string, 3rd fret high E, so your 3rd, then hammering on and pulling off from the 1st and landing on the 3rd fret B string, back up to 1st high E, 3rd B string, then 1st B string. So we've got 3rd fret G string, open G, 3rd fret D, open G. That's pretty much all the parts. Like I said, fairly simple, and then room to improvise during the solos, and that's how you play Gold on the Ceiling by Black Keys.